Today I want to speak to you about what AI and universal basic income can really mean for us today. My name is Mar Hausler. I'm a money coach and financial mentor, and I really help men and women on their journey to get towards financial freedom and really understanding their money situation. Most importantly, I also really help people on their entrepreneurship journey. It's all about purpose and money for me. So let's dive right into this today. A lot of talk is around AI, how the world is changing, and yes, I've even experienced it in my generation, so my clients, when I just had a Nokia phone when I was young, and now we're all of a sudden with technology and AI. The leaps are massive, but this also means that the opportunities are huge. Of course, there's a lot of downsides and scary parts of it that I don't want to address so much here today, but I want to really look at how we can leverage these tools and really move forward from there. Now, my issue has always been that people have made money doing jobs that they don't enjoy to do. My whole work came about that I was coaching people downstream, looking at what their purpose was and how to make that possible. And I think we need to go a few steps up, back to the education system. Now that's a whole nother topic to address. But what I really mean here is that a lot of us have been educated to do jobs, to be able to make money, to enter the cycle. However, this is currently breaking. We are looking at much more purpose-driven society with AI coming in and taking over the menial tasks that can be automated. We can leverage our intelligence and leverage our skills and creativity to do something completely different. Of course, now this means that a lot of jobs will be taken away, which is where the universal basic income comes in, which will cover our needs in society of what we need: food, housing, bills, to be able to then be creative. And I hope that this can be a positive shift for humanity, where more of us can really look at our purpose and putting our gifts into the world instead of being in that loop. Now, when we can embrace the positive part of it, it really means that we can look at the world and say, okay, what is it I came here to do? What is it I want to put out into the world? And how can I use the current tools of AI or what's accessible for me to make this happen? More and more people are becoming solopreneurs. More and more people are becoming creative, putting their work into the world, content creators. And more people are able to live with their purpose because we're able to invest and have much more knowledge around that. Money without purpose is meaningless because you're just making money to spend it. And there's an empty hole at the end of this. I've experienced it myself. I have clients who've experienced it. A client of mine who made a lot of money in crypto said, unless I have my purpose, what is the point of having all of this? On the other hand, if you do have your purpose, but you're not making money, it's very difficult as well. I lived between India and Brazil with incredibly creative and talented people who had extreme purpose, but couldn't really materialize it in the material world. So I think there's these two aspects that we need to look at and marry as we come to this point. And I think AI and universal basic income can really help this. AI can take away the menial task, can help you really create what you want to create and really get into the matter. It's so easy to learn so many different things today. And the universal basic income gives that, let's say, foundation, that support to be able to do it. This means we have to get on board with it. And this is a whole nother narrative. A lot of my clients, especially older, having been conditioned by the economic system, the education system, are like, what is my purpose? Like, how do I even know what I want to do in the world? And this is where the point comes in. A lot of us have been in this cycle, find ourselves really working to pay bills, meaningless, let's say, or jobs that we did enjoy, and now are finding ourselves in meaningless tasks in, let's say, the machine or whatever you might call it, but are really losing the drive for life. And all of us have a purpose. I really believe inherently that we're not born here to work 9 to 5 to pay our bills, buy a house, do this, invest for that, follow some cookie cutter model. But it's really about breaking out and seeing, what am I here to do? What do I want to bring into the world? What are my dreams? And more importantly, what does success look like for me? And this redefinition is something different for everyone. We've been put into the churning of the marketing system, right? That's like, buy this and you'll be happy, buy that and this will bring you glory. But we want to look at something deeper than that. Taking all of that aside, what it is you came here to do? What is it you came here to create in the world? And most of us have been so disconnected from this because from a young age, we've been told you need to get this kind of job, you need to put that out. A poet doesn't make money, neither does someone riding ponies, but you need to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever else it is, to be able to get a paying job. Yes, this is all right. Yes, this narrative has been there, and I understand why it's been there, because it's been there for generations. But now it's a time to shift this. And more recently, I heard that it takes 3 generations to become become creative. The first ones are making it. The second generation pays for education, and a lot of this are from immigrant families, knowing that education is the key to move forward. And then the third generation can start becoming creative. And what is that creativity that you want to put into the world? A lot of times we really shy away. We feel like we don't have it. The system's bogged us down. And I say to my clients, make 5, 10, 15 minutes, half a day a week. But find that space to hear yourself again. Find that moment to start being creative, to see what it is that really lights you up. And we all have our individual fires. There's no two people who are the same, and there's always someone out there needing what you have to give. Now, the question is, how do you start putting it out? And how do you start voicing yourself? That is the key. Now, if you tell me I'm not sure what it is, I would say to you, go back to your childhood. Because when you were young, there were probably moments where you came up and you said, I want to do this. This is what lights me up. I've been playing in nature all day. I've been painting, playing an instrument. And start making space for that, because that tiny space widens and widens and widens until it really has a space in your life. And this is the key, to start owning your life, to start owning who you are and putting that into the world, because that is inspiring. Your light in there is what touches others and lights up other flames. But when you're in the cycle just repeating things, you're just repeating the same old patterns. So 3 little steps to do. Start journaling about what really lights you up. Make a space in your day, week, month to start putting that into action. And finally, if you can't really get there, go back to your childhood and see what that little you in there loved to do. I hope this inspires you to see universal basic income and AI as a whole nother perspective to what you can put out into the world and get inspired for the future that you can create for yourself, marrying purpose and money into one. If this inspires you, please follow the channel, like it, and share it with others. I hope that we can start getting to a point where we can all put our purpose out into the world together and make our living from it.